Hello and welcome to the Build With Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Baer and I'm here to build a model kit and hang out with all of you. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, and the site, the emote in the chat. And if you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. Now, if you're not a subscriber, you can just say hi. You can use universal emotes, somebody else's emotes. Or if you wanted to, you could just, I don't know, this is just something you could do if you wanted to. You could just say hi. Or you could decide to lurk. That's okay as well. Arctic Sloth is here. Hello, Arctic Sloth. Ghost Valve's here. What's up, Ghost Valve? Welcome to the intro portion of the stream. Tonight, we're going to finish. Lord Crashington is here, and Lashbrook is here. Got a great crew already. Welcome, friends. Happy to have you here. We got the Black Rider. And the Black Rider is body complete, but we need to finish the backpack. Oh, Lord Crashington wants me at the ska. Start off with some ska. You got it, Lord Crashington. Coming your way in just a moment. Here's some ska. Some of our reggae ska here. We are indeed on island time. Okay. Good way to start the stream. But yes, mid-ska month. Yes, it is halfway through the month. So we got the Black Rider. There's our friend, the Black Rider, looking dope as hell. Looking cool. We're going to finish the backpack for the Black Rider. And then we've got the I believe it is some sort of rocket launcher or cannon, and then also knives. We got to put stickers on knives so that because this kit comes with 2 knives, and then that kit will be done. And then we're gonna move on to the RX-7. That's the Mazda FC3S, the Mazda FC3S RX-7. That's Ryosuke's Red Sun car from Initial D. Now, I have built a couple cars here. They've all been a very old version of the 86 and a newer version, updated version, pretty recently. I believe this year or the end of last year. Put together those cars. This is different, my friends. This is not a glue kit. It's a 132 scale, so it'll be smaller than the other one, which, I can't remember that scale, but this is smaller than that. And it's a snap kit, but it has a gimmick. And that gimmick is that it has gears and a battery compartment, and then apparently it will drive. The wheels will turn. We build RX-7 A tier, Pat. What is this nonsense? I know, Lashbrook. Highly unorthodox, but, so similar, we've built Zoids before, and Zoids have this thing where the inner frame, the inside frame is like this big mechanical thing there, and sometimes you have to put a battery in, and you hit a button on it, and it goes. And walks around, it just kind of does whatever. Hell yeah, let's do some car stuff. Yes, Arctic Sloth, we are going to do some car stuff. But this is like... This is going to be different. You can see the RX-7 right there. The box. Because I just don't know. We could paint this. I'm not going to. Someone else could. The other thing is, it comes with grease. I don't know what kind of compound exactly it is, but it comes with a compound that I'm going to be adding to gears to make it so like basically the equivalent of like oiling, like a car. And I just wasn't prepared for this. It does have some water slide decals, and so we will put some water slides on here. And yeah, I'm just like, what am I doing here? It's going to be weird. This is going to be a very different thing. It's going to be a different beast. I don't even know how long this is going to take because it doesn't have a lot of parts. But I'm going to have to take my time with it because I'm going to be applying small metal pieces because I want the batteries to work when I put them in there. And I want it to work at the end of the day, and I don't know. Y'all, I don't know. I'm much more comfortable with the Black Rider, which we'll be starting in just a moment. We'll be concluding in just a moment, I should say. We'll start to gear towards the end of it. But yeah, I'm less confident in the other kit. But we'll figure it out. I don't know. It didn't cost that much money. I purchased it off Amazon. It wasn't too pricey, so we'll see. Thank you, Arctic Salt. I appreciate it. But also, we can learn from my mistakes as well. I do have my Panasonic camera, and so I believe that that will look just fine here. I am rethinking the lighting because I think my overhead light might not be enough now, but it still looks very cool, and we can zoom in. If you haven't seen the stream in a little bit, folks, you missed it. I have upgraded from this webcam here. Also was my overhead camera. Oh, I had the exact same one, Logitech 920 that is pretty common for this type of stuff. But I now have the proper adapters and extensions to use a capture device for my Panasonic camcorder, and I am using that as my overhead cam. So now I have zoom. I can like touch a thing and zoom. Now, are there problems with that? Well, I used to say it was a manual zoom. It's not the same kind of manual where like you twist it and adjust it. It is a digital zoom on the camera, but it's a 52 or 50x instead of like 4x. So I can zoom in really far, but I have to reset the zoom every time I turn the computer on, which is not that big a deal. So we will do that. I'm going to reply to my own tweet, and then we'll get back into it, and we'll talk about the camera as we get into shenanigans here. So let's go to the main. Here's the main. You can see I can get really close. I can pull out, and then I can get really close here. So close that I have to move to stay in that. But yeah, I think this is about where I want to be. I think that looks good. But yeah, I can really fucking zoom in now. And I'm really happy about that. I am super pleased about the ability to zoom on the camera and not have to go through software on the computer because the Logitech can only zoom so much. Which, you know, as a webcam just pointing at your face, you really don't need a zoom like that. But for model kits, I always felt like I was too far away. And the solution would be to physically move the webcam closer, but then it would block this camera, my face cam. And then it's like, well, then I have to put my face cam on an angle, but then what am I, you know, it just, there was a lot of give and take. And this is far less give and take. It's all working out. The only real downside with this camera is, on my current setup, is that it's right in the dead center of my third monitor. And that's a bad place for it. So I have to figure out if I can have this monitor higher, and that doesn't seem right. Or if I could have this monitor like, and go instead of the two monitors, because I like two monitors here and one up top, which is right now, could I do the 3? I have the desk space to do 3. I don't know if this stand does the 3. I think it does. I think I could do 3. Yeah, I could do 3. So I'm thinking I might try that and get used to that. I don't know. And then I would have like I would basically have the cockpit view. So we'll see if that is what I do. I'm gonna live with this setup for a little while before I start getting into mixing things up and changing things around. Because I am really enjoying this particular setup as we have it. So I'm not like in a rush to give it another try, or an alternative, I should say. All right, so now we need the components to put stuff on this backpack here for these discs on the black rider. I still have the white rider to build. That'll be a build, of course, we do here in the future. Also, I got something in the mail. It was a pre-order from USA Gundam Store. I got the new Gundam entry grade. And here's the thing, folks, if you're looking for that, if you built the RX-782, if you built the Strike, which I have not built the Strike entry grade, because I don't love the Strike, and I've built a lot of Strikes in my day, so I wasn't rushing out there to get that one. But if you pick that up. So I got the new Gundam, which is a big model kit. It's still a 144 scale, but the kit itself is large. The box is the size of a normal high-grade box. And it was very surprising. It looks real good. I've seen, video of people putting it together. I've seen reviews of it, and it looks real good. So I am excited about putting that together myself in the future. And that should be, I mean, entry grades are supposed to be quick builds, but this one is still detailed, and there'll still be like room for panel lining and all that. But it looks really good, and not a single sticker, not a single solitary sticker. And I think that's something to be psyched about, because I don't necessarily enjoy applying stickers. I will if I have to. We still have a few stickers left on this kit. The knives are covered in stickers, and then there are some decal-looking stickers. They're not water slides, but they have the appearance of water slides that will go on the front of this kit that we'll do at the very end. So still a little more sticker shock. But anyway, let me get these components together here, and then we'll move on to the next part of the build. Happy Monday, everybody. I hope you're all doing well out there on the old internet. I'm doing okay. What do I got to talk about tonight? I got a few thoughts here. Let's start with talking about, I don't know if y'all checked it out last night, but the blood moon was pretty fucking cool. So yeah, I don't know if you were, if you visited the blood moon, and checked that shit out, but it was pretty cool. Over here on the East Coast. Luckily, not a cloud in the sky. Very grateful for that. I went out just before the eclipse, so there was a sliver. Reindeer. Oh, that sucks, Ghost Valve. I'm sorry. There was a sliver of the moon you could still see, less than a crescent. So I was able to watch that as it fully happened, and then suddenly it was time to see the very cool, red, the photograph. My phone tried to autocorrect the light, which I found very charming. That my phone was just like, oh, this shouldn't be like this, but in person, that shit was red and it was cool looking. It was very still at night, and so that was neat. Turned off a lot of the lights on the outside of the house, around the garage and stuff, so we could see better, and it was pretty fucking cool. My mom wanted me to wake her up so she could see it, to which I did. And then my dad, I tweeted about this, but it does bear repeating that this was my dad's reaction to said event was that he, where did these go? What am I building here? These things attached to that. My dad came outside, said, "That's real red," and then went back in the house, which is pretty much my dad in a nutshell. That is peak my dad. That is the most my dad possible. So, yeah, there's no better way for me to describe who my father is than that particular interaction of him just being there's basically no selling it, and just be yeah, that's right, okay, gonna go back in the house. Yeah, but that was a cool thing. I hope you saw it. We might get some flooding around here, which will not be cool, but it at the very least, at least it's incredibly hot right now. It is a scorcher. We were in the mid 80s today. Went for a walk, and it was not fun. But it's good to get exercise. So what am I gonna do? Arctic Slaw says, election day tomorrow. Super wish anyone in my local primaries was good, but I guess I can at least choose the least bad option. Hell yeah. Yeah, sometimes, unfortunately, it's not that often we find ourselves not in a position where we are excited about our candidate. It's more that we are fearful of the opposition. I live in a district where there will never, in the time that I am here, ever be anyone for me to be excited about. The closest I can get in this area is somebody that is not actively trying to kill me or people I love. They are just incredibly greedy and backwards, but they are not malicious, and that is the best that I can get in this particular region. which sucks because I was in an area where I had people who cared a whole lot and worked real hard trying to do something, even if I didn't necessarily agree with everything they stood for. It does suck to go from an area where you were like, yeah, well, yeah, all right, to, oh, no, you don't represent me. But yes, civic duty and all that, folks. We have to do more than just, but we also need to do it. And just good luck to everybody. All right, we got one of these done, so I'm just going to put this over here, these flying disc things. And there's like an alternative way to attach these. You can attach them to like the top of this, but I like these here. I like them here where they're just like right over the shoulder. I think that looks rad. So we'll just do that to the other one here. Other things to chat about. Let's see. YouTube keeps recommending me stuff I've already watched, and I don't know what to do with that. Like stuff that hey, maybe it's been a while, but like, I don't need to watch some of these videos. Especially if it's somebody that I've recently gotten into, and it's just like, yeah, I've watched the first video of this woodworker that restores furniture and, finds, they're in the Midwest and they find like Facebook marketplace deals and they like clean stuff and rebuild stuff and put on varnishes and all that. Like, yeah, I like their stuff. I've watched a lot of their stuff. I don't want to watch their earliest videos again. Why are you you recommend me other people. Recommend me like, well, if you like this, then you also like these. Or like, even if you want to be like, hey, Pat, you watch a lot of like these woodworking people, and you, for a little while there, you were watching a lot of ASMR rug washing videos, which is true. That is a true statement about me, and a thing that I was into, and I'm not as much. Hey, Pat, you probably want to watch this guy who like surprises people by mowing some parts of like an area or their lawn, or like does some volunteer work, which is mowing some lawns for people for free. Of course, then films it and uses it as YouTube content. So you want to check that out, right? And I'm like, I mean, not really. I kind of don't want to watch that, YouTube. And YouTube's like, I don't know what you mean. If you like rug cleaning videos and you like woodworking videos, statistically, you want to watch lawn care videos and like power washing videos. You don't want to watch like power washers? And I was like, I kind of do, but I don't like the people that you keep recommending. You're like, if YouTube was like, hey, you might want to check out these people that don't have like a lot of views, that might be fine. But YouTube is just like, no, you only want to watch the most popular person in every category. You don't want to watch, or up and coming people. You don't want to watch people that are like, yeah, that are like struggling and have like 10,000 views, which is still a huge amount. It's like, no, you don't want that. You want 400,000 views of this person that like is clearly taking advantage of poor people. It's like, no, I don't want to watch that, YouTube. Power washer bloopers sound like some fun. Oh, that could be fun, yeah. It's like when Netflix sends me emails suggesting I should rewatch I Think You Should Leave, which I didn't need encouragement to do. Yes, 100%. Like, Amazon Prime recommended me Kids in the Hall, which I just watched, like, literally yesterday. And today it recommended me videos I just fucking watched. Because Amazon Prime does not know what I want, because I don't use it that often. So I understand why it has no idea what I would possibly be into. And they're just like, oh, you like this? Okay, well, watch it. Watch that, because you liked it. It's like, all right, at least recommend me comedies. It's like, no, you're not going to recommend me comedies? You're just going to be like, watch the thing you just fucking watched? Sure, all right. It makes sense. I don't use Amazon Prime that much. I use Amazon Prime for like documentaries that just aren't anywhere and some old TV shows that I don't have access to anywhere else. So I can understand why YouTube is, or Amazon Prime is just like, I don't fucking know, Pat. I use Prime to see a lot of garbage I never go to rent at the video store back in the day. Yes, that's also good for that. You know what's also good for that is Tubi. Tubi. Tubi is fantastic for like old TV shows that you don't actually want to watch, but you are nostalgic for, and you want to watch like 2 episodes of, or like especially cartoons. And you're just like, I don't actually think I want to watch this, but I do want to find this thing. And then you can watch it on Tubi, and you can be like, yeah, I didn't really want to watch that. Thanks, Tubi. I watched an ad in exchange for this. So, or I watched 4 ads again because they only have so many fucking ads, and it gets pretty old. And also, weird movies you've never heard of. Tubi is great for that shit. We need streaming video service to figure out how to tell when I'm finished a video instead of putting it in the continued watching section where I left off in the credits. Yes. Netflix tries to solve this by thinking you don't want to watch credits. Crunchyroll does this thing sometimes where it's just like, oh, hey, there's 15 seconds left on this closing credit song, so do you want to continue watching? And it's like, no. This series doesn't, like some series do the like after song extra gag, but not every series. So like if it's not a comedy, I don't need to watch all of the outro because you don't also do previews all the time. Some shows do, sometimes don't. But it's very, very frustrating. Oh, welcome. Yes, you're Chill John in a Discord that I'm in. A very fun, chill Discord. Welcome. Happy to have you here. And Lord Crashington says, Disney Plus drives me nuts with that stuff. Yeah, I haven't used Disney Plus in a while because I'm Star Wars'd out. I almost said Star Trek'd out. I'm Star Wars'd out, so I haven't had Disney Plus in a while because I don't want to watch Star Wars stuff right now. I will again. Look, at some point, I'm going to want to get caught up on Star Wars. I'm going to get in a Star Wars mood, and it's going to be time to get back into fucking Star Wars. But right now, I don't have that sense. I don't feel that. I don't have that vibe where I'm like, I got to get back into this. No. You say Star Trek at Disney Plus when you want to get nerds mad. Yes, Lord Gratitude. I'd be like, I can't wait to check out my new favorite Star Trek series coming out on Disney Plus, and that'll get various people mad. I'm not looking for that. Generally. All right, so first off, this knife looks cool as it is. This just looks cool on its own. This does not, well, we'll do this. This does not need big stickers to look cool. But it does come with big stickers, so we'll do that. Yeah, Lord Crashing, as we know, we're never out there looking to be the main character on Twitter. I would love to not be the main character on the internet. That would be fantastic. That is kind of always my goal is, look, I would like more people to know about my cool shit and what I'm up to and all that and like get on board. I'm always looking for people to get fucking on board, but I am not looking to, I am always trying to avoid hearing from people that don't follow me. Now, look, I retweet stuff, and sometimes I write things and people retweet that. So I do hear from people that don't follow me. Sure, of course I do. When you get retweeted, especially if that person has like a following on the internet that is bigger than yours, you are going to hear some shit. You're going to get it from some people, and that's okay. But like, what I don't want is to go viral in any way and start like getting the other ratio, because there's the ratio. No one wants to be ratioed. But the other ratio where like more people that don't follow you are replying to you than do. It's just, yeah. Yes. Well, because there's the ratio of like getting replies instead of retweets and likes is when you're only getting replies. That's bad news. But it also is bad news if you're just getting... If only everyone did the respectful thing and removed mentions from their replies. Indeed, I try to do that, especially when someone's like, hey, I'm doing this cool thing with these people, and those people don't know me. They don't need a tweet. They might want to see the likes, but they don't necessarily need me to reply with like an in-joke. Because like, well, one, if I'm replying to many people, my in-jokes are never mean. I don't get nasty with in-jokes because I don't really fuck around like that. So you aren't going to see nasty in-jokes from me. But I sometimes will reply to people with in-jokes because we are friends. And maybe some rando who was there, like, that worked with them on one project, they don't need my fucking nonsense. I have a friend, let's say an internet mutual, and she's on a podcast about wrestling, but she also writes books, and she does book tours on occasion, of course, virtual in the past, but in other times has done actual tours. And what fans of the podcast who come see her, who may have read the book or may have not, what they will often say is, Lindsay, is it okay to ask a wrestling question? So that Lindsay can say to the audience of people that just like her romance novels, hey folks, we're going to talk wrestling for 5 minutes. Feel free to tune out. And it's like, and that's just like the nice thing of like, because it would be weird if you were like an audience member for a book signing event and the author is talking about their series of romance novels, and then the Q&A, you did it in joke for the podcast that no one else in the room has any knowledge of. If you were like, yeah, but you know, Shawn Michaels Cookie Monster, and then, which is a reference to their podcast, and she was just like, and then people were just like, what just fucking happened right now? Like, you don't do that shit if you can. It's very funny to say ratio out loud to my friends when they say something embarrassing or flat out wrong. If you're like, ratioed. I noticed that people just yell ratio in the comments of any tweet, which I'm assuming is big with the kids and just talk shit for whatever reason. Yeah, ratio is a, like, that is definitely a, like an easy, just be like, it is like a, to some extent a gotcha, like, ratioed. You just got played, my friends. You just got ratioed by saying a thing. They showed you. You said a thing I disagree with, so you're getting ratioed. But also, it should be something that people are doing it. Like, you should be like, even if you want to say, I can't wait for the ratio to roll in. Or I'm just here for the ratio. Also, I'm going to stop saying that word out loud because it's starting to lose all meaning, and I don't enjoy that part. I'm going to tilt this camera down a little bit. Yeah. I want this word to continue to have meaning to me, so I am going to stop saying it over and over again because it's really losing it. So we're going to have this kit hold, the Black Rider here will hold one of these knives, and we're going to place the other knife on the side, and then we'll build the big gun. I don't know if this is a bazooka, rocket launcher, missile launcher, beam, whatever. It's a big gun. We're going to build a big gun next. And then this kit will be done. Twitter has run every word into the ground. So the nice thing about Twitter is that it is just typing words out. And yes, they do lose their meaning and they do lose some sense of whatever's going on. But also, you can just like, because you could just say whatever the fuck. But you're just typing it out. So sometimes you read a word and you're like, I am sick of this word. You're going on my mute list. And I don't have to learn about this word for a while or hear about it for a while. Muting is fantastic. Muting phrases, muting people, muting hashtags, like, go for it. I think it is healthy and good, and you should be doing it more. That's why I try to use hashtags when I am live tweeting an event, like I didn't with Eurovision this year, but I have in the past, or a WWE event if I am live tweeting that, and you just don't want to fucking hear me, feel free to, like, not hear me. It's totally okay to be like, you know what, Pat? I don't give a shit about this thing. Or if you want to time me out, you want to give me a timeout, go for it. I don't feel bad about that. I have definitely muted by some of my friends because they know me from being a comedy person and a good dude they like, and they have no real interest in hearing about like whatever fucking weird shit I'm into. They don't have that. They don't need to give a shit about that stuff. So they don't. Where's this going? So like streaming. Like, why would they care about my streaming schedule? They have no idea what the fuck what I'm talking about. So if they want to mute me, go right ahead. I did get good news that my Lego Horizon Zero Dawn tall neck shipped and should be here on Wednesday. So I have a weekend project. Hell yeah, Lord Crashington. Feel free to throw some photos of that in the Discord if you want to, or whatever, or tweet them at me. How does this... This looks like it would work out great, but it doesn't seem to... I guess we'll go like that. Okay, I guess it just lives like that. Sure. We'll put a knife there. All right, let's build this last weapon. As I said, I got the new Gundam, which I'm excited to put together. That is kind of, I think I have other pre-orders coming. Let me look. Hey, folks, let me look at my pre-order list and see what else I got coming out this month. This month I got 2 more kits coming at some point. I got the Asmodee High Grade. That is a pre-order from USA Gundam Store. I don't believe that got pushed, but it could have, because I don't keep the best attention on that stuff. I should do better. And the Raider Gundam Full Mechanics is also coming this month as a pre-order. And I'm excited for that because there have only been 2 other Full Mechanics in this new Full Mechanics line, the new version of Full Mechanics. And I really liked the one I put together. And the Raider is a cool kit. So, yeah, I am amped to put that together. You may notice here in our camera here that I am, that I did already panel line this. I was bored, and so I panel lined this gun, because also sometimes when I get towards like the end of a build and I get to the weapons, I don't panel line the weapon. I just like run out of steam on it, and I wanted to panel line this because, like I said, I don't always. So I wanted to give it some love here. So I got that going there. But yeah, I got a few things here, and then next month I've got the official Bandai part separator. Excited to have that. Coming from Gundam Planet. The Escapulus from Premium Bandai. Got to learn how to say that. The God Gundam Real Grade is in August. Theoretically, it's actually going to come out in August. That would be great because it got pushed before. Also the Heavy Arms Endless Waltz Master Grade from Premium Bandai. The re-release of that. So excited to finally have that. Never built that. Always wanted it. It was one of the Master Grades I coveted. And now I'm finally going to fucking get that kit. Very excited about that. Then, of course, the Heavy Arms Custom High Grade, which is the version 2.0 of the Heavy Arms, like the mid-season replacement, like upgrade of Heavy Arms. That's coming out. And yeah, Shenlong High Grade, the Mercurius and the Veda High Grades from Premium Bandai, and then the Gundam Age 2 Dark Hound Master Grade, which is a backlog item. I'm very excited. I know that I just listed out, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 and 4, because it's a pair. 5 kits. 5 of the kits that I have pre-ordered are wing kits. If you didn't notice how much I like Gundam wing kits, but I wasn't noticing it as I was doing the pre-orders. It's just that it just happened that way. They're just kits that I want. I covet them. Look, if they started putting out more than just the God Gundam, I would be buying G Gundam kits. Some premium G Gundam kits. If they started re-releasing more than just like, hey, we're doing a new high grade of the God Gundam. Hey, we're doing a real grade of the God Gundam. Don't get me wrong. I'm psyched to build the God Gundam. I like that Gundam. But I also want to build other kits from G Gundam. Give me a new Master Gundam. Let me put that together. Let me get a actual Master Grade I mean, even high grade, like a good version of like a bunch of those kits from that series, but we're not getting those. We have to be getting an RG Master Gundam at least. Yeah, I mean, like, look, I would think a real great Master Gundam would be fucking fantastic. I don't know if we'll get that, but I would like to see more of those. Um, like I just think there's so many good kits in that line that it would be cool to get some of them. But who knows? Who knows if we will? Look, I know we're never gonna get like an RE100 Devil Gundam or Dark Gundam, depending on what region you watched it in. But I know we're never getting that. But I could dream. It would be fucking cool as hell to get that as an RE100. But I know we won't. But that's okay. All right, we got our bazooka here, or whatever the fuck this is. We got our discs, and we got our big knife, and this kit is complete. Whoops, oh no. So I'm going to take a photo of this because we are done, which I'm excited about. So I'm going to get my camera out here, camera app, get a nice little photo for prosperity. This is a sharp looking kit. I was pleased. I'm going to actually widen now. I'm going to zoom out just a little. I'm still tweaking this stuff. And like I said, because this is a digital zoom, but on the camera, I have to redo it every stream. So like, I'm going to get in the rhythm of it, but it's going to take a little while. Anyway, this kit had way too many goddamn stickers, but at the end of the day, it does look rad. And I guess we can zoom in here, really see the detail on this thing. It still turned out fucking cool as hell. It's still a very cool kit. And I was happy to put it together. And I think the stickers do add a lot to it and are necessary, but there's just a lot of them, and some of them don't look particularly great, which was probably my fault. But yeah, so that's that kit. So we are now done with the Black Rider high grade. As I said, I have the White Rider, so we will be getting to that in the future. I got some extra parts because, of course, I did, because it still has parts that were meant for the Pale Rider, which this kit is based on. Actually, reverse course a little bit. There are 2 stickers that we did not apply. I forgot that there are 2 stickers that this kit has that I did not do yet because they are not the regular stickers. These are the stickers that are they're marking stickers. They are meant to be to look like slide decals, like water slide or dry decals. So I gotta apply those. One goes here on the shoulder, and one goes here on the chest. So I gotta put this. I gotta move the gun so we can see it. These are easy to apply. They're just kind of covering the area here. And then just press down. So do that. And then, because they are not like slide decals, they're easy to put on, but you can see a lot of the like extra parts of the sticker, like the kind of clear parts of the sticker. And then this goes just like here. Oops. All right. So probably wouldn't even notice that I hadn't put them on, but I did want to put those on there because they were not hard to do. And it's nice to dot all the I's and cross all the T's. So let me take a new photo of that, and then we're done with this kit. Great. All right, now we go over here. We get rid of the Black Rider photo. There it is. Hell yeah, that's looking good. All right, so that kit's done. And now we've got the RX-7. It's time to fully unbox this thing. I already have one piece out already because I was looking at it. Slowly. I got my batteries out here. Some Amazon Basics. You can see there's this thing of grease. It came with a bag of grease. And then also some compartments. Oh, also screws. This kit requires a screwdriver, which is weird for this, but I do have my little screwdriver here. So got that. So that is a tool that is required for this. Got our car piece here. Tires. Look at this. It's so weird. I kept things in bags mostly because of all that. We do have our water slide here. Got our red sun and all that we'll be applying. One of the batteries I need. Our actual components here. There. Got the windshield here, which does apply with I will be putting a screw in there when the time comes. Again, weird thing. But I'm also building this like this, but I'm not putting in any I'm not using liquid cement to adhere stuff. So in some ways, this rules. And it's going to be way easier. In other ways, it is somewhat nerve-wracking. Because I'm like, holy shit, this feels weird. Just the idea that I'm going to have all these pieces here. And I've got like big screws and like one tiny screw. So hopefully all of this will be good. And I will do a good job with all of it. I'm going to open up this bag and get this grease out because I'm going to need that pretty soon. So I at least want to like figure out what's going on with this grease. Keep out of reach of children. I got to cut it here. Basically in the instructions, it's like there's this little part where it's just like grease. You want to grease this here and here. Instead of like applying liquid cement, it's like, no, this is where you grease it. How old is this kit? Are you sure that's still grease? This kit is not that old. I'm going to double check. I believe this is this came out. When did this come out? This is not that old. Cutter, nippers, tweezers, screwdriver. Yeah. Wait, when did this come out? It does not have a year on it. But this is not that old of a kit. Let me see if it has a year on here. No. Does not say the year this was released. But this is not that old. So this grease should still be grease. I mean, I can tell you it's not that old because there's a lot of English in this. So that is a good indication, folks. No matter what kit you're building, if it is Japanese in origin, if it has English instructions, that's a good indication that this is not a super old kit. So we're not dealing with too old, which is good. So put those there. And we got this bag here. We've got to get that ready to go. With some, this is going to be some copper parts here for our battery cage. We got our batteries. Put that back in there. And then we've got our gears. And again, our grease. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have, as a backup, I've got a cotton swab in case applying grease using this little package, like I did not look up a way to do that, like the proper way to do it. So we'll see. But yeah, use grease. So I'm like, oh, okay. I guess. But the first thing we can do is the tires, which I am confident about. I am more confident about putting the tires together than I am with doing these other sets. So at least that I'm like pretty confident I can do this right. Our rubber tires here. We'll get our nippers together and get these going here. At the very least, this is a thing where I'm like, hell yeah. I know how to put rubber over plastic. I'm more confident about that than other things that we are doing here. I gotta remember where the middle is now of this. Okay, and that's and there. All right, great. All right, and then we'll just snip these off here. But yeah, I am. Oh yeah, I could look on this to see if it has a date. Oh, it's got the parts. Does not list a date on any of these. Okay, fine. You never know on a bigger piece here. Sports car, 132 sports car. Yeah, it does not include the date on any of these. But whatever. We'll figure it out as we go, my friends. Other things we can chat about tonight. Let me go look at my list of topics. Okay, so yeah, I can get a little bit into some work stuff here. Working on a project that has taken several days to do. It is a big one, but it will pay pretty dang well, so I'm pretty excited about that. It's a lot of data entry. It's a big presentation that I'm updating for other people, which is great. But it is a client that I've worked for before, so that has been nice. But generally, these projects that I do are people like, they're like, oh, hey, here's this presentation and it from last year. We need to update this, this, and this. Or sometimes it's just like, hey, we're actually like looking for something a little different this year. Or like, you know, we need you to build this database information for us and enter all these things and add all this stuff and take out this other thing and all that. It's just like a checklist of things they need done. They outsource to this company that we dropped some frames at some point. Sorry about that, friends. That I have worked for. And it's totally fine and everything works out great and everybody's happy. Okay, so we need A and B. And A is going to be on one side of the car and B is going to be on the other. So this is going to be A and this is going to be B. We got the, screwdriver, large screw. Only the back two have screws, so we only need that. And then the other wheels, when they go on, don't have screws. Great, so the other wheels don't have screws. Only two of them have screws dealing with. So we're just going to put two of these aside for now. We're going to find our two large screws, which is in this bag. So anyway, I'm doing this project. They keep adding more work to it. I was done yesterday, and then today been done, and I was proofing. I hadn't submitted, but I was proofreading it, getting everything together that I needed, and they were like, actually, we've got more stuff for you to put in. And it's just like, okay. That's really frustrating because I try not to do that job on Tuesdays. Tuesday, I try to catch up on other things and like other work that I'm doing. Or Tuesday is often a big day for like applying for other jobs or whatever. But I know I'm not streaming at night, so it's a nice catch-up day to just kind of like see what's going on. And then also there's like the Bombcast, and I enjoy watching that live. So I try to check that out. And that way I can be in chat and hang out and do other things. But I got work I got to do tomorrow, so I'll be doing that while the Bombcast is on, which is not my favorite. But yeah, they just keep changing shit on me, and it's annoying. Because I like to focus on other things on Tuesday and not those gigs. But I can't complain too much because a gig is a gig, and I am happy to have them. So let me look at this real quick here. There are gray areas here on this piece, and that is where I am meant to apply grease. And again, I don't know exactly what they want from me with this, but we're gonna see what happens. I'm going to open this here, and then do my best with it. We'll see. Did I cut up enough of it to get any of this grease out? I'm going to be using this on this paper towel here. We're just going to do that, because that way am protecting my table a bit from this. I don't know enough about this particular thing. So, which one is 2 and which one is 3? Great. This is 2. Yes, because it goes up. This is 2 and this is 3. Got it. So yeah, I'm a bit frustrated right now with the contract work that I'm doing because the client is being annoying. One thing that's nice about this gig is often the clients are not annoying. They are usually great because they are so grateful that we are doing this work and they don't have to. And that also that like I especially like I can't talk about the other people that do this work, but I'm fucking good at it. I don't fuck up, so I can imagine that they are like, like I said, they're usually very grateful, and I am grateful that they are grateful because I don't like working for clients that are mad at me. But again, I don't know if I don't know what's going on with this particular client because they're just like constantly adding more work for me to do, which will mean, here's the thing. It's a contract gig. So like I get paid a certain amount depending on what the job was. And generally me fixing mistakes that I made is on me. Me adding stuff because they've added more to the job is usually on them. But this particular one, we haven't talked about like paying me more because of this extra work that I'm doing. So I got to get that fucking straightened out because it's one thing to be like, oh, we forgot there's like a couple slides and, oh, actually this database needs to, be adjusted with this. We just got this new data in. And usually it's just like fine because like, especially if they're a client that's been there for a while, you want to like be cool. But if I'm doing like an extra day's worth of work, it's just like, what's going on here? All right, so I put this on. It doesn't say how tight this should be. It really doesn't. Attention to the direction of 2 and 3. Okay, so this is 3. I'm going to put this over here, and 2 we're going to put over there. Well, it's actually, we'll say B. This is B, and this is going to be A. I guess I could grease this after I attach it. That might be better, because that way I'm not touching grease. Also, I have to remember to wash my hands thoroughly. I wash my hands a lot, folks, but maybe not after every stream. I often do because I have like panel lining marker on my hands, and it's just like, oh, I want to clean up that, or like, residue from the polymer eraser that I use. But I don't always get to it. But I'm definitely gonna have to since I'm touching this liquid. Okay, so this still spins around. That does spin around. Okay, and then kind of using the thing to apply it. All right, so I do think the next one I just want to the next time I do this, I am going to do it before I attach it, and then I'm just using this here to kind of spread it around. Again, I don't know if I'm doing like not enough grease or too much grease. I have no idea. I've never done this. But anyway, we got A and B there. And now we can apply plastic and some metal. Hooray! Also, I'm going to read you this switch plate thing. This switch plate says, switch plate, install, then twist number 6 after fix the switch plate. I don't know what that means. If anybody has, what I think it means is that after I place this in here, I have to place the piece of metal and then twist it a bit or something. But I don't quite know what that means. So I'm just going to do my best. Again, this is a piece of metal that is going to conduct electricity. Or not electricity, but it's going to tuck, voltage from the battery. So it goes like this. And there are like arrows here. I can kind of look to see how it looks when it's done. And then there's part 6. I don't know if I can see where that goes. Goes here. This is going to be a fun kit because it's just like real weird. This is a real weird kit. I'm like just kind of figuring it out. But I got positive and negative battery stuff here. So I think it goes like this. I know this goes underneath. Okay, so 6 goes from the underneath. So at least I can do that. But yeah. Honest folks, this was just a reasonably priced car from Initial D, and that was the only thing that I was interested in about this, was putting together this like kind of unique another car, and like the price was right. I didn't realize what I was buying, so that's good. Especially if the instructions are just in Japanese. This is a good pro tip, folks. You gotta do some research about what you are purchasing here. Okay, so all right, so. Install, then twist 6 after the fixed switch is placed. So this is here. This is 6. And I'm going to turn it and twist it. And that is going to lock. So this piece of plastic is going to lock the piece of metal in place. And then we're going to put the other parts of this in after that. It's what it looks like. So this goes in like this. I know that. And then this is going to go, this is the switch plate. Okay. Does that go like that? Yeah, I think this goes like that. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Yeah, and you turn it. Okay. Yeah, this makes sense. This looks like it makes sense. I think this is right. It's kind of hard to tell. Where it goes. But maybe it goes further? Does it go? Stall 6 and switch plate. God. Don't paint the movable parts. Okay, I'm not painting this, so that's fine. I think this is right. And then, like, yeah, because this would be like this. That makes sense. And this would be like that. But there's got to be something else that goes there that's metal. Because unless that's wrong, but I don't think that's wrong. It goes like that. That makes sense. Okay, and then this would be like that. And then this would turn it. I think this is right, but I have no actual idea. So that is great. This is going to be fun where I like, yeah, and then this will like poke the metal. Okay, so that bends the metal to like the on switch. Yeah, okay. Okay. All right, I think I figured out how this works. Yeah. Yeah, because that would then press it. All right. Okay. I think we can move on to the next step. None of this involves grease, so I'm feeling better about that. Again, we're figuring it out as we go. I have no idea if I'm doing this right. We're just gonna do our best. Okay, so I know this is B. B is up. And then goes like that. Oops. Okay, that goes like that. And this is going to go like that. there's actual grease that you have to use this kit. Yes, Lord Grashington, it comes with a little packet of grease that I am applying to things because these wheels are going to move. This car is battery operated and will turn. So especially the gears that I am going to be putting on this need to be greased so that there's not to reduce the friction is my assumption, is why I'm applying grease to this. Again, these are just assumptions that I am making based on like context clues. So this comes in that, and then the top part. I think I'm attaching this right. But yeah, gonna race a downhill derby, and we'll see. We'll see if I'm ready to race this by this weekend because I have no fucking idea. All right, so if these two are up, then the bottom one goes down in here. All right, so I at least have these wheels in the right place, I believe. Although they are not easy to get in. Also, hey, this is fun. I got grease on my fingers, so that's making things more difficult, which is fun. Oof. Woof. Yeah, my hands are now a little greasy. My fingers are a little greasy. So that's fun. All right, I at least have these wheels on somewhat, or kind of, and maybe I know where to put them next. So we're going to take a pause for the cause. I'm going to breathe a little bit because this is weird. Oh, that piece came out, so I got to put that back up in there. Yeah, so I'll have to pop this back in now. Let me just do that real quick. Put this in. Twist it. Yeah. Oof. My hands are greasy. That's fun. All right, so that went in there. Okay. We're going to take a pause for the cause. Folks, if you're new to the stream, this is what's going to happen right now. I'm going to talk about ways you can support the channel. This will just be for a few minutes. And then we'll get back to model kit building. I will try to get through step number 3 of, of only 9 steps. So really not that many. But yeah, if you're currently a subscriber, you can do like Arctic Sloth did and put the Bear Cave Lego, or if you're tier 2, you get the Scythe emote. A new tier 2 is coming in June. June will have a new tier 2, and everyone else in tier 1 will get the Scythe emote, and you'll have 3 emotes. And there'll be a brand new one, all made by the lovely Xandra. But becoming a subscriber is an easy way to support what I do here. You can see we're at 32 out of 35 subscribers. We're trying to get back up to 40. We're just looking for that. So if you'd like to become a subscriber, now's a great time to do that. Cash money or your Prime gaming token. You have Amazon Prime link with your Twitch. Use that. We talked about Prime earlier. You get that Prime thing, use it on me. Or you could gift a sub to somebody in the community. Gifting a sub is an easy way to support what I do here. Because you can share the love with somebody else. They don't see ads. They get some cool emotes. Love to see those emotes in chat if you get a chance, folks. Because it's always nice to see that. But yeah, that is an easy way to support me here is through Twitch. Also, bits and coins always appreciated. If you got those, you could join Harold with the gift sub or bit leaderboard. You could join Aristofan with the gift sub leaderboard. Aristofan gifted 1 sub, and you could join in there by just gifting a sub to somebody in the community. But again, we are trying to get back up to that 35. Being around 40 means that I get a payout every month. And so that is always the goal, because then I take that money and I buy model kits with that money or equipment. Another way to support what I do is to join me on Patreon, patreon.com/PatBear. There's a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. Different rewards for the different tiers. Take a look at it. It's a good list of stuff. That is another way to support what I do. Also, I have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/PatBear. I put up new videos every other Monday and every Wednesday, so take a look there. And if you want to join, you could become a member on YouTube, and then for $2 a month, you get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. So tomorrow you'll receive a video, and then everybody else will watch it on Wednesday. So that is a small thing that I could do. I just recorded that video today It's kind of interesting, I think. We'll talk more about that in a bit. Let's see. We did that with that. Also, direct donations, because I just talked about a bunch of ways to support me that cost monthly funds. And I understand that's not for everybody. If you want to do a one-time donation, I got a PayPal. Also, I have a coffee set up, so you could do that. And everything I make through direct donations, through YouTube, through Twitch, through Patreon, all goes into a fund. I take money out of that. I buy model kits with that. This kit I bought here came from those funds, which is great. Very, very grateful for that. Now, I have an Amazon wish list. If you don't want to see me build stuff from my backlog and you'd rather pick what I build next, you could buy something from my Amazon wish list. It'll come to me in the mail, and then I'll build it on stream. I've got inexpensive kits. I've got pretty pricey kits. I've got Lego sets and model kits and imports and stuff that has dropped in price, which is great, and stuff that is way too expensive and seemingly never drops in price, but is still a cool looking kit. I've got some gear that would be helpful, including a better mount for my camera that would be nice to have, and a chair with wheels on it that would be way more comfortable than the current chair that I use now, an office chair, and some other stuff. And you can buy something there. It comes in the mail. I shoot a video dedicated to the thing that you purchased, because the least I could do, and it jumps to the queue. It becomes the next thing I build, instead of just me building from my backlog. I have an alternative wish list on Throne, which is a smaller, more curated site, but you can take a look there. I'm going to be updating that this week with some other stuff, because they've added some new partners. And also USA Gundam Store. You could just buy a gift card to USA Gundam Store, and then later you send me a DM on Twitter with that gift card code, and I'll use that gift card code and buy something at USA Gundam Store. That's a thing you could do. A way to support me for free is to join my Discord. I post build photos at the end of every stream. People post stuff they're working on. It's a nice little community of nice folks. We'll get back to building real soon, friends. Just got to promote a few more things. Let's see. Pat Baer's Anime Club. I have a new video that'll be coming out a week from today. So right now, if you missed the last one I put out, it was about weird premises in manga. And I'll be doing a follow-up to that in the future, but not right now. And it's good. And then Do You Remembaer is an ongoing video series every Wednesday. I pick a different topic to research. Usually it's a Wikipedia article. And then I try to remember everything from said article and, tell you about it in hopefully a funny manner. And we're talking about Doug. Doug was thought to be possibly the world's largest potato. But then evidence came out and things changed. So I talked about this big thing, which in the photo is wearing a hat for some reason. As a New Zealand potato named Doug. So check that out, because I actually think that's pretty funny. All right, let's see. We're going to talk about some manga and some anime. We'll start with some manga, because it's Manga Monday. But in order to talk about manga, the first thing I need to do is drink some water and then start working on the rest of this parts of this model kit here. Because I got to do that next. So we're gonna figure this part out here and talk about some manga and then talk about some anime. So first things first, we're gonna dramatically transition back to the overhead camera and then drink some water. Dramatically transitions. We did it. Let's talk some manga. First, real quick. Okay. All right. Talk about some manga. I've got a manhwa and I've got a Japanese manga to talk about. Let's start with The Heavenly Demon Can't Live a Normal Life. So we've talked about I've talked about, and you've heard me talk about so many of the subgenres that are popular in Korean manhwa, Korean stories. And often a thing that's very popular is the world of Murin. a Murim, I should say. The world where, internal martial arts and the Heavenly Demon Clan and all these clan things, and it's just like the tradition and the regressor or the reincarnation, where someone in our modern world wakes up in that kind of world, right? And sometimes they have video game system, kind of like martial arts kind of systems, and they can do all that kind of stuff and all that. This is different. This is the our main character has regressed. He died. He died pretty happily. He was the heavenly demon. He was a well-known, powerful figure in the world, in that world, and he passed away. And he was like, okay, well, I lived a full life, and I'm like, fine with that. Great. It worked out. Everything's okay. But he didn't stay dead. Instead, he regressed into a fantasy world full of, there could be some beasts, and it's very like medieval. And there aren't, there's magic, but not necessarily his style of martial arts magic. And he's like, well, fuck. I don't know anything about this world. So his first thing is, bring me to the oldest person in the area. Which I think is a fucking so smart. Just be like, bring me to an elder, find me an old man, and I'm going to ask this old man to tell me stories about, like, the past. And that's how I'm going to, like, figure out what's going on and where I fit in this world and, like, the history. So he gets because he doesn't have memories. It's not like he was reincarnated and, like, suddenly got his memories back. No, he took over the life of someone who committed suicide and took over that person's life. And he's like, okay, well, this guy was a real piece of shit. Now, he did take his own life because he regretted the actions that he had taken in. But for the most part, he wasn't a good person in general. He was, for the most part, like, kind of a shit dude. Not a great guy. Okay, so I at least have this right. I got to figure out where there's this piece here, number 7. I have to learn where number 7 goes. Oh, also I can put number 8 in. I can just put number 8 in because that's going to be easier to do now than later. But yeah, he's just like, well, it's so can't live a normal life, right? Like, people are fucking with this dude. He was he's the firstborn in the family. He should be inheriting things, but because he was a fuck up, people are like, have turned against him. And crimes get committed in fucking front of him. And like the other time, he might even be interested in those crimes, but he would look away. Like, there is a group of people that started off as like money lenders, but turned out to be like full on like running a protection racket, just thugs. And he's like, so these people are like disrespecting me in my own kingdom. And people are like, oh, yeah, sure, whatever. And he's just like, no, that's not going to happen. That's just not going to happen here. Because he's an incredible martial artist, so he easily kills a bunch of people. He finds the head of that organization, and it's in a neighboring area. He finds the head of that organization. He goes there. He kills that guy. And then when the noble, the head is there, it's like, hey, you murdered somebody in my area. He goes, there was a crime leader right under your nose. You're welcome. And it just gives no fucks. And it's awesome. It is that kind of like, it is, of course, that kind of power fantasy thing happening here. Of course, where he is just this overpowered main character and just like not giving any fucks and not giving, not running into any problems with doing exactly what he wants to do. He's also an asshole. He just sucks. Like, he's basically just like, look, I'm also going to need a private army. I'm going to need an army because there's a lot of war that happens here, and there's going to be some territorial stuff, and also I'm going to keep making enemies. I'm not going to stop making enemies. So he's now currently where I've left off in the manhwa. He is basically, he is raising a personal army of people with them understanding, hey, you're going to make a bunch of money and have a lot of respect and power with me, but also I'm going to use you to take care of things, and it's not going to be easy. He like found a couple people to work for him that like has instilled like a lot of that are like, okay, this dude, this is the real deal. So we're gonna see more of that, I think, as we go through, as it continues. But also, I don't. It is very funny because a woman that is supposed to get married to him is like, hey, I don't want to do this, and he immediately is like, yeah, all right, I'll take the fall, I'll take the blame for it. Sure, yeah, no, we shouldn't get married, because in his mind he's like, I definitely don't want to get married to you. I don't want to get stuck in a relationship. I don't want to settle down. I've got stuff to do. So it's difficult to assemble. If it's difficult to assemble, put 8 to raise the front part of the chassis. So 8 right now isn't attach 8. I didn't realize this. 8 is like, do this. Put 8 right there if you need to raise this up to get this all connected. They basically were like, hey, this is annoying. Use this piece of plastic to make it easier, which I did not read and wish I had. And then we got part 7, where I don't know where part 7 goes. So basically, part 8 was just like, hey, use this to prop up this piece. Okay, 8 goes into this hole here. All right, so 8 goes like this. All right. So we're going to leave 8 there to just hang out, to prop all this up. I think I have connected this properly. This all looks right. I think I did this the way I'm supposed to. We'll find out later, but I'm pretty sure I did this correctly. We can now move on to step 4, which is slide to front to fix steering. That's after we put 10 in. Okay, so now we're putting 10 in to lock it. And then we can, okay. They couldn't make some jack stands or something. No, Lashbrook, they gave me a piece of plastic to use as a jack stand if I wanted to. Very fun. Anyway, the manga, so I'm going to keep reading. I don't know if I love Heavenly Demon Can't Live a Normal Life. I think eventually it's probably going to get like too bogged down in bullshit. I'm going to be like, all right, I'm good. But right now I am enjoying it, so I'm going to keep reading it. And then we have Legend. I don't know why I've never gotten into Legend. Here's the thing. I think the first chapter of Legend has too many word bubbles in it, because they're basically setting up the plot and like a whole lot of bullshit. And I could totally understand why people would be like, there's too much goddamn shit going on in this thing. What are we even doing here? So I could totally see people be like turned off. And I think I was. I think I was just... okay, so this needs to go... where do you go? Where do you snap in? This is going to snap in somewhere. And I got to see where it snaps in, because I don't quite understand what this wants from me. Like that. All right, so sorry. All right, so this is going to go to has to lock in to the 2 wheels. And this is going to lock the wheels in. So at least that part I know. And this part I did know. That came off. Anyway, Legend. Like I said, I got turned off of Legend at first, and then I just went back and finally started reading it. It is the story of a dude who died in our world in Japan, and he got reincarnated. Well, not reincarnated. His soul got sent because an ancient alchemist is like, hey, I had a bunch of like really smart alchemists that worked with me, but we kind of held ourselves up. We held up in like an area, and we didn't like talk to enough people about stuff. And so the thing that I was researching, beast alchemy, beast arts, is dead, and no one does it anymore. And you've got a cool soul. How would you like to merge with my soul? And I'll give you and we can put you in a body, and then you can like do whatever the fuck you want, as long as hopefully it's further the beast, like the beast arts. And our guy's like, I mean, I'm already dead, so I guess I will say yes to that. Why would I say no to that? So he does, and he uses the beast arts to create a griffin out of his magic. So it looks like it's a normal beast, or just like a superior beast, but it's made out of his own magic, which is cool. And he names it Set, and Set is a great little character. Set is a fun friend who also is not the comic relief, but has like good facial expressions, and is a good boy. Set is a very good boy. And they go on adventures, and there's a lot of chapters of it. And Ray is going to be... Here's the thing. He wants to see, theoretically, Set's ceiling of power is limitless. So he's like, okay, well, we need to see how strong we can make my friend. We're just going to see how strong we can make this friend. Also, he's got a cool scythe, and he can absorb powers, which makes him stronger. And he's like, all right, so our goals are make Set as strong as possible, make me as strong as possible, have fun, go nuts, do whatever. So those are their goals. So he becomes an adventurer, and he has adventures, and they like help people sometimes. They help the town they live in. There are two. We've got the like girl that likes him and girl that wants to be with him because he's an up and comer, that are at the that are different levels of annoying, that are at the Adventurers Guild, and he gets dragged into various scenarios with that. And there is a warring country that's sending spies and monsters and stuff, and he's like, I'm not in part of any of these factions, but I definitely don't like invaders that are fucking with my home and also messing with me and my cool animal friend. There's like a lot of shit. He is an overpowered character that generally doesn't fuck up. It is not a harem. There is a girl that definitely has feelings for him. There are several girls with feelings for him, and he probably has feelings for like one of them, but they don't really stick around. They like weave in and out of his life, and they don't follow. It is not the kind of series where the first people that he meets suddenly become his party for the rest of the series. We don't have that. Okay. So I know how this is supposed to work, but I have not been able to get this to work. This is supposed to clip over this, but I think this metal piece is in wrong, and that is keeping this from connecting properly, is my guess. But that's just a guess because I don't actually know. But right now, when I go to attach this stuff, this should line up with this here. And this should line up there. And this is supposed to go in that hole there. Oops, this fell out. Great. So this is going to be a lot of me just like redoing what I just did, being like very cautious and like also really annoyed that I keep doing it wrong. Be a lot of that on here. Going back to previous steps because these plastic pieces popped out while I was trying to do something else. Lots of that. All right, we're going to go back to the kickstand here. Also, there is, again, just grease on my fingers, so that is continuing to be very fun. So anyway, Legend is pretty dope. It's an isekai, right? It's an overpowered main character fantasy series. His friends are good. There's an arc where like we figure out that he's going to be betrayed by someone. Like in the second chapter of it, and then it takes like 15 chapters before we get to that. The helping the Duchess get to the altar arc is so fucking long, and I think the payoff is good, but it's not like great. So it was definitely frustrating. Okay, so I definitely don't know where this is supposed to go. I think this is right. But this just does not want to sit where I want it. And this is frustrating. Sorry. I know that I keep apologizing. I don't mean to keep apologizing. Oh, God damn it. Oh, this is frustrating. It's not like I can go on to something else either. I mean, I guess I could work on something else. All right. I'm going to start assembling a different part of this as like, because this is incredibly frustrating. And I'm going to come back with this on fresh eyes in a bit here. So we're going to move on to another part of this kit. But why did none of these have numbers? Got motor. Got gears here. Got metal parts here. It literally doesn't have this is part 4. We've got metal part A and metal part B. Where's this motor? Use grease, large screw. Okay. We do that. We do that. We put that piece on, which I can't get on right. Metal part. Fit it. Motor. Pin, fully insert shaft into the gear. Fit part here. Then we got to grease it. We put that in there. Does it... Does this... The motor part is sold separately. The motor is not an included part in this kit. It's not on the product list. The thing that would actually make this go is not part of the product list. So we could... Yeah, the motor. There's a motor here. There's a motor. We don't have that. We don't have that part. So you didn't need to agree. Well, Lashbrook, technically no, because it's not going to work. Nah, Arctic Sloth, I appreciate that. Um, I don't want to do this kit anymore. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to do some so Lashbrook, there's the we're building right now. Part of the thing I can't assemble right now properly is a switch to turn on. Basically, we're building all the components to turn on from the bottom this switch, which will then connect the circuit for the batteries to run the motor, which will go here, which will then turn the wheels with the gears that we have here to then have the car slowly move. And then you pick it up, turn it over, and turn it off. So this would be like down here. The thing we're building here is basically like an on and off switch, which I have had very huge difficulties putting that together. And I don't know where to get this motor. I can do the research. I did not know that was a thing that didn't come with it. I have to decide if this is worth putting together as it is. I think it is worth putting together, just knowing that it won't be battery operated and won't move, but it will just build it as a kit. But I am frustrated by the whole process of this, and also wondering if I need to bother with any of it, what parts I need to bother with, because we won't be getting it to move, but we can still assemble it. But also part of the assembly that has nothing to do with that was also very difficult and annoying. So I would not have expected that this could be a mechanical kit. Yes. So I should say, folks, this is good to know, right? You got to know when you are reaching outside of your comfort zone and trying to and looking to pick up something that you don't normally like a kit that you haven't normally built. I assumed this was just a smaller version of the same kits that I put together, which were just glue kits, right? It wasn't until I opened this box after buying it and receiving it that I realized, oh, this is not that. And then I was like, requires 2 AA batteries. And I was like, wait, what? What's happening? And I was just very surprised. Aristofan just gifted some subs. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Aristofan. Welcome, Helter Skelter, Sasabi, and Narasido. We're going to hit the applause there. And we'll hit the just again. I appreciate it. Thank you for the gifted subs. That is very kind of you. We're currently at 35. Appreciate the gifts. That is now Aristofan is gifted 92 in the channel, which is just unbelievable. We thank you very much for that. And Arctic Sloth wants me to hydrate, which I appreciate. So 35 out of 40. Real quick, while I figure out what I can do with this kit that won't involve me finding a motor, and what steps are not needed because we are not building a motor. Look, and certainly, we're going to be putting all of the water slide decals on here because it's a fun process. Because now I have a zoom, so you can really see me apply those, and that'll be cool. We don't have to worry about grease because I am now not building this. I am now not worried about building this for it to run. I am only worried about assembling it so that it so that I can like put it down and we can look at it. So that is like in some ways incredibly comforting because I don't have to give a shit about this as far as a vehicle that moves because the motor comes separately. So I don't have to worry about any of that shit. I just have to worry about like getting it pieced together. Custom display model, indeed. I'll just tell you about this anime real quick while I attempt to get this part done here. I'm not going to go through all the parts on here because I am in a weird headspace at the moment. Shikimori is not a cutie. Really fun episode. They went and saw fireworks, and it was them being a very cute couple, but then like having an honest heart to heart about that, like how like the previous year, uh, Izumi was too nervous because they were just friends. He was too nervous to ask her to go see fireworks, and she was like, "I was waiting for you to ask me," because she had never seen fireworks live in person. Um, and they, they walked around, they did stuff. She was fucking awesome, winning at a shooting game and, and stole the heart of the operator, the Carney, which I thought was very cute because she's just badass and cool and sweet. Their friends were there, and they kind of like ran interference, and they're very supportive friends, which we love. We love that in the show, that her friends are just so supportive of their relationship, which is very fun. And they saw fireworks, and it was cute. And then he almost killed both of them by accident. But the day was saved by Izumi's father, who is a strong man. He's a very strong man. He was giving her a piggyback ride, but then he slipped and he almost took a header. But then thankfully, his parents were right there, and he ended up giving both of them a piggyback ride because he is very strong, and it was a cute end of the episode. Yeah, that show continues to be pretty fucking adorable and really fun. And yeah, it was a cute little episode with them just being real cute together. Nice, friendly, fun, romantic comedy. And we're learning more about their relationship, which is cute and nice. Okay, so now I have to figure this out. How does this go in here? Now we just want this to connect because we need these wheels to stay in place. So this is supposed to go like here. And I don't have to put all the parts on. I don't have to put all the parts on because it doesn't matter if I put all the parts on, because we are not worried about this vis-a-vis internals and all that, the battery components, because we're not going to put the batteries in this. So since we're not worried about that, we can focus on just getting it assembled. This has to go here. I'm only worried because this has a snapping component to it. So like I want to attach this right the first time because I don't know if I can undo it. Also, my hands are greasy. The other episode I want to talk to you about was Trapped in a Dating Sim. There was a fun bike race because it's still the school festival. There is still the girl that hates Angelica, who is being awful and trying to ruin her friendship with Olivia. They're having problems. We get introduced to a dude named Dan, who's an older classmate, and they have like a mutual respect thing going there. There's still the looming thing that Carla Wayne has come in, and now our dude is obligated to help her. Our dude Leon is obligated to help her out because it will, because since she used Olivia to get to Leon, if he says no, that is a poor reflection on Olivia. So he's kind of cornered in doing it. And I definitely think that she is going to be the new villain. Something's up. I think we got a bunch of villains in this series, but she is the new actual villain that we have to worry about, is my guess. This is, I'm going to call this frustrating. Look, at a certain point, we're going to have wheels on this thing, and then we're going to put decals on it, and it's going to look cool as hell. And, and that's fine. The real thing is this has to like snap into place. And I need it to snap into place where these wheels are. I got one. Did I get the other? I did. I got it. Okay. And in reality, it doesn't matter about the other parts of it being right because, yeah, they still turn a little bit. The grease helps, I guess. But yes, great. I got that step done. We can get the cage worked on a little bit. Anyway, Trapped in a Dating Sim. The race was fun. That some of the new characters are good. We're setting up for the next thing. It's rough to see Olivia and Angelica having a disagreement. Also, like, yeah, there's a little indication that our girl is going to be shitty. The new character, Clara, is going to be gross. Or not gross, but it's going to be a problem. We don't need these metal parts, but we can attach them. We might as well. We don't need them because we won't be putting a battery in this kit, but we can at least kind of play around with it. There is something about this kit that's kind of cool, that you are like putting together this these metal components, like you're building the whole cage for like the motor, and you're building the cage for like the batteries and all that. It's kind of cool that you do all of this, but it doesn't. One, the instructions are that leave a lot to be desired, and two, when I purchased this, I wish it had included the thing that I needed to buy a motor separately. And maybe I should have known that somehow. I should have magically known that I needed this motor separately, but I didn't know that, and that's also on me. When I'm stepping out of my usual, I should be doing the research. If I'm going to work with a kit that I haven't worked with before, I should be doing some sort of information gathering about said item. So this goes, I guess, like here, but again, where this connects, I don't know properly. Oh, it goes like that. Lastberg, I don't know if it's standard motor. It is a 130 and then a bunch of Japanese text motor. And maybe it is. Maybe it's standard for these kind of things. Maybe it's something I could do research on in the future. Here's the thing. I don't care. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm not doing the parts that require, like, I didn't put these parts in. These parts are needed to turn it on and off. That is a thing that I have decided that I am not going to worry about. Because I'm not gonna worry about those parts of this kit. I'm gonna be I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm gonna be assembling the tires, which we did here. I don't have to put any of these gears in. I don't have to worry about it. I'm free of that. I only have to worry about making it so that I can actually connect these things and, in some semblance of it, making some sense and working. I also, without the motor, don't know if this is going to, like, work out. Like, it's one of those things that's very funny to me. I'm like, I actually wonder, without, like, the motor over here, if these back wheels are going to be stable or not. I got to put some gears around in here. I don't know. I think it'll be okay, but I actually don't know if it will or not. I do have to put like one gear in here because I do need this to kind of be stable. So it's not that gear. It is these two things and then a smaller gear. So even though this isn't going to run, I do need to put something in here. I think. Put that like that. Yeah. So in other weird news, Sasha Banks and Naomi just dropped the tag titles and bounced at tonight's Raw. They dropped off? Huh, that's weird. I mean, there's nothing going on with that division, but that is also weird. Um, uh, I hope that's because Naomi is joining. Oh, what if Sasha also joined? Well, why wouldn't they want to have the belts? But I want Naomi to join the bloodline, because that would be good for the bloodline to have like that as part of their story, is to have a woman, an active woman in the division. But I don't know. That's weird. She's maybe Sasha's going off TV for a little bit, and then they're just trying to figure out how to write around that. All right, so this got to go like that. Then this has to go other side. Huh, that is weird. I look forward to hearing some thoughts from people that know, can speculate about wrestling to figure out what's going on there. That's interesting. No, this isn't an angle. What do you mean, Lashbrook, by that? Are you saying both of them quit on live television, live recorded television? Or were both let go and it's not part of a storyline? That would be weird news if that was what's happening. All right, we got to put that there. And this would go here, but we don't have to worry about it. And then this would go here, but we can just add it on. This makes sense because this would keep everything from moving around, which you would want if you had a bunch of small plastic gears. This is like an interesting design, the way this thing was put together. I think it's kind of cool. It's just I didn't do the proper research for it and didn't understand what I was building. So I don't know. Cool. Let's see. How does this go? Anyway, we're going to wrap up in a couple minutes. I will say the Kids in the Hall show. Watch the new season of the Kids in Hall. It's excellent. It's on Amazon Prime. You should check it out because I think it's great. All right, so on Thursday we will be adding decals to this. We'll fully assemble this kit now. We're going to finish by assembling it, and then we will add decals in the future. Because that we're basically done. This would lock the batteries in, which we're not going to put in, and then we'll finish screwing this in here. Back office stuff. Reportedly, they showed up to Lorna's office with their luggage, dropped off the belts. Don't know if they told them this, but they were saying they weren't respected enough and were comfortable wrestling the people they were booked with. I mean, it just seems very strange for someone that just feels like a work and not a shoot. Like, I don't know, Lashbrook. I know that stranger things have happened, but it feels really weird that, like, Sasha Banks would, like, because Sasha Banks has a reputation, like, they talked about it, like, the fucking dirt sheets talked about it for, like, a year, that she was, like, having a tantrum and crying at WrestleMania, and it's just like, that didn't happen. It was just like bullshit backstage nonsense. So I don't know. That feels very unlikely to me. That story feels very much like a story, especially with Naomi. Like, yeah, no, Naomi can think that, and she's not wrong, but also her husband is in like one of the biggest storyline in WWE. And I don't know if she's just going to fucking bounce like that. I don't know. We'll find out more about it. But that feels like a lot of, like, I don't know. That feels like a storyline more than like backstage stuff. Who knows? All I have to do is say, hey, we want to drop these belts. We don't want to have these belts. We're not going to work with that. Sasha Banks can get away with that shit. I don't know if Naomi can, but Sasha Banks could definitely get away with going, hey, I don't want to do this. But whatever. Find out more later. Trying to get this assembled. Whoops. Nope, that didn't work. Trying to get this assembled without breaking anything. Okay. We have completed. We are body complete on our kit. We just need to do decals. And we're going to do decals on Thursday. Thursday's going to be decal day with this kit. So tune in on Thursday for me putting some cool decals on our kit that should move around via motor, but apparently I don't own that motor, so no. And then I'll start a new kit. So I'll have a thing out to my $10 patrons to vote on what I build next. Wednesday, continuing where I left off at Pokemon. We are going to keep ranking Pokemon. I'm going to keep rating them, either if we're going to go with the old classic Smash, or the, still respect you, but no thank you, pass. So Pokemon Smash or Pass returns this Wednesday after a 1 week hiatus. Going to continue where I left off with that. Should be very silly and good, so please join me for that. We are going to raid. That is how we end every stream. We end every stream with a raid, so we'll go see who's doing what in the world of streaming, and go give a raid to some people. Oops. That we want to go hang out with. Who's doing some stuff. But yeah, this was not what I wanted it to be. I did not realize what I was getting into with this particular kit, but we will panel. Not panel in. We might panel in too. We will do some decals on Thursday. I would have loved to. I did not know I needed a separate motor. That is my own fault. Mary Kish is playing Loot River. We're going to go raid Mary. Mary rules, as you know. So we're going to go hang out with Mary and her lovely community. Feel free to come along on this raid. I promise it will be a good time because Mary rules. And that kind of somehow has become our tradition here on what do you call it? On Mondays to go raid Mary Kish. So we're going to go do that. Thank you all so much for being here. I hope you have a great night. We're going to hit the raid button now. Feel free to come along this raid. Thank you again to Aristofan for gifting those subs. I appreciate it very much. Thank you everybody that hung out. I apologize that I kind of just got defeated there for a second, but we bounced back. I didn't quit the kit. I just modified what we're doing. It's a custom model. So thanks so much for being here. I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.